But yeah, this next video, NFL players who ruined their career in seconds. So off rip, like I seen the thumbnail, Aaron Hernandez, Ray Rice, what's his name? Henry Ruggs. I got to think of some more. There's been a lot of motherfuckers, man. Because you can't say like Tyreek Hill, Adrian Peterson, because they still playing in the league. Like, that's what's crazy.
Dollar contracts, nationwide fame. These are the dreams players chase from the moment they first put on a helmet. But some of the league's biggest talents made choices that destroyed their careers in an instant. Today, we're looking at the downfall of NFL stars who lost it all, from Super Bowl glory to freedom itself.
And his life.
Let's
Henry
start
coming
off
back, though.
with none other than
Henry's coming
Ray
back.
Rice.
Somebody's going to pick him up.
This guy used to terrify NFL defenses. Ray Rice was basically a walking highlight reel, and every now and then, he would flip a game on its head. When he was at his best, he had incredible vision and quick cutting ability that left defenders grabbing nothing
but air. That nigga built like a
he only
bowling
stood
ball.
at 5 feet 9 inches tall, but what he didn't have in height, he certainly made up for with his power and the ability to make guys miss. After showing several flashes in his rookie year, Rice blew up in 2009 with over 2,000 yards from scrimmage, and he kept it going with 3 more dominant seasons.
But I really be finding it so crazy that niggas like Ray Rice, they out the league for good, but you got niggas like Tyreek Hill and Adrian Peterson and all these other niggas who are still in the league. Like, that shit is really crazy to me. What did AP do? AP, he was beating on his kids. Child abuse. I don't really know how bad he was doing that shit, but it was child abuse.
Making multiple Pro Bowl appearances and getting
hitting
second team All-Pro honors twice. He most likely would have made All-Pro first team, but this is right when Adrian Peterson and Chris Johnson were running the league. You can trace Rice's big play ability all the way back to his college days at Rutgers. In 2006 and 2007,
Nico, look at the fucking message I sent. Go back and look at the message I sent. I said, watching a video after this, then we can hop on Val. I sent you that message while I was watching a video, which was this part. Watching a video after was after the video we just watched, brother.
he put up over 4,000 total yards and 45 touchdowns in just those 2 seasons alone. A lot of people think the Heisman voters simply ignored him just because he played at Rutgers instead of a big-name school, which is certainly possible. His career hit its peak in February of 2013.
My dad used to threaten me all the time. If they would have heard some of the threats my dad made to me,
as the confetti came down in New Orleans, Rice was standing on top of the football world. But then everything fell apart just 1 year later on February 15th, 2014. Rice and his then fiancée, Janae Palmer, got into an incident at an Atlantic City hotel and casino.
How about you read the fucking room next time?
Minor, and both were charged with simple assault. The Ravens stood by their star during this process, with head coach John Harbaugh publicly supporting him. Then the video came out on February 19th.
Show the video.
Original security
Damn, is she knocked out?
Showed Rice dragging.
I ain't gonna lie, I knew he hit her. I'm be honest, this video is so old. I don't remember this shit. But for him to knock this motherfucker out, maybe he deserved that shit. Maybe he deserved that shit.
Palmer from an elevator. The NFL didn't punish him until July 24th, and even then, they only gave him a measly 2-game suspension.
My mom made me take a shower with
me. Commissioner Roger Goodell for how he handled this domestic violence case. But in September of 2014, TMZ dropped the full elevator video. The graphic footage showed Rice hitting Palmer, knocking her out with one punch.
But one thing that
I ain't gonna lie, getting hit by an NFL player gotta be insane.
Who I've known since high school.
Despite publicly apologizing and trying to make things right, Rice never played in the NFL again. His comeback efforts went nowhere as teams wouldn't touch him. To
be fair, I didn't get my ass whooped that much when I was a kid. I was a good kid. I was a kid that I just played the game. I used to get my ass whooped for having bad grades. That was really it. I never really did shit bad. I was an in the house ass kid.
Lasted several more years, gone because of a terrible decision.
Dwayne Goodrich.
Dwayne Goodrich looked like he was going to be an NFL star. This cornerback from Tennessee had everything coaches dream about: speed, instincts, and that special ability to make huge plays when the game was on the
I
line.
don't even know who this is.
His biggest moment came during the 1998 Fiesta Bowl against Florida State. With Tennessee
Knocking a
holding
woman
on
you
to a
love out with all
7-point
your
lead
strength
early
is
in the second
insane.
quarter, Goodrich
Yeah, that shit
made
wow.
the
I
play of his life.
never
Going
understand
up
putting your
against
hands
star
on women
receiver
like
Peter
that, bro.
Ward,
I understand
picked up a
anger,
pass
but
from
god
Marcus
damn, bro.
Outzen, took it 54 yards to the house. That touchdown helped lead
Like, you
Tennessee
can't be
to a
that mad to where you
national
just can't walk
championship,
away, you feel me?
and Goodrich was named defensive MVP. The Dallas Cowboys saw Goodrich as the answer to their secondary issues. They used their top pick in the 2000 draft on him, grabbing the cornerback in the second round.
This nigga went to Oak Lawn? He went to Richards? This nigga went to Richards? This is literally like where I used to live. Like, this was like 2-3 miles away from where I used to live at. Huh. Damn, that nigga was 5'11" though.
But things got
I guess
tough
DBs
once he
weren't
hit
that-
the NFL.
weren't
Goodrich
that
struggled
big.
to get on the field, playing in just 5 games during his rookie year. He missed the 2001 season because of an Achilles injury, and in 2002, he only started once in 11 games. But soon, Goodrich's struggles on the field would be completely overshadowed by something much worse. Early in the morning on January 14th, 2003, he was driving his BMW through Dallas after a night out. Up ahead on the highway, there had just been a crash, and 2 people had stopped to help pull someone from a burning car. Goodrich's car hit both of them, and they passed away at the scene. His vehicle also hit a third man who survived but ended up with a shattered leg.
My
Instead of
God.
stopping to help, Goodrich drove away.
I
My
left the scene.
God.
I left the scene because I panicked. I left the scene because of selfish reasons. I saw everything that I worked for flash in front of my face and didn't really want to deal with the consequences of what I did, the consequences of the choices that I made.
The Cowboys cut him a month later, and in court, Goodrich was convicted of criminally negligent homicide with a deadly weapon and failure to stop and render aid. The judge gave him 12.5 years in prison, ending whatever was left of his NFL career and completely changing the course of his life. Once he got out of prison,
That shit gotta suck. Oh, that shit gotta suck, bro. Cause this just reminded me of the whole Kyron Lacey shit. The whole Kyron Lacey shit. I don't really know what the verdict was on his case, but this shit is sad as fuck to see because it's like, dog, to have your shit, your whole career ended because of you getting into an accident and driving off is fucking crazy, dog. And like, thank God he didn't go Kyron Lacey's route, you know. Like, this is literally Kyron Lacey's. This is what happened with Kyron. Like, practically the same shit, you feel me?
Goodrich
Practically
graduated
the
from
exact same
Tennessee
shit.
in 2014, and since then, he's become a public speaker and talks about that morning of 2003, pleading that young people do not make the same mistake that he did and trying to teach them to do better.
I
Ray
ain't never heard of him
Carruth was
either.
another guy who
I'm
was
guessing this gonna be
electric
full
on
of
the
some
college
people I've never
football
heard
field.
of.
At Colorado, he led the conference with 1,008 receiving yards in 1995, and then with 1,116 yards and 8 touchdowns in 1996. His success in college caught the attention of NFL scouts, especially the Carolina Panthers, who grabbed him in the first round of the 1997 NFL draft.
1,000 yards?
As the 27th
Yeah,
overall
1,000
pick,
yards
he
is
came
a
to
lot in
Charlotte with
college.
huge expectations. His rookie season showed a bit of promise with 545 yards and 4 touchdowns.
That's decent as hell
Panthers
for a
fans
rookie
were
year.
hoping this was just the beginning of something special, but injuries and up and down play limited what he did over the next 2 seasons. In 1998, he only played in 2 games, getting just 59 yards. The 1999 season wasn't much better. 5 games, 14 catches, 200 yards, and 0 touchdowns. Still,
Damn, what happened to him?
at 25 years old, Carruth had plenty of time to turn things around. The Panthers were staying patient, believing that their investment would eventually pay off. Then came November 16th, 1999.
It began as a night at the movies. A football star and his pregnant girlfriend driving to a South Charlotte theater with 2 tickets to a film called The Bone Collector. As she drove home from the theater that night, Sharika Adams had no idea that she was about to become the victim in a very real murder mystery.
For what?
Was any police fire on it? Police have been shot. I'm 8 months pregnant.
Carruth,
For what?
driving ahead of Adams, suddenly stopped. When Adams stopped behind him, another car pulled up beside her. Multiple shots were fired into her car. Eventually, she told dispatchers that Carruth had stopped in front of her before another vehicle pulled up. It pointed directly to Carruth's involvement. Adams fought for her life, but sadly passed away weeks later. Doctors were able to save her baby boy, Chancellor, though he did suffer brain damage and cerebral palsy.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like, this gonna sound like some real dickhead shit. If a kid comes out, like, I'm sorry, yeah. I don't want my kid to live with a disability like that. Like, I know it's probably something you don't catch till later on, but I don't want my kid living like that, bro. If it's detectable before, you feel me? But like,
from not getting enough oxygen. The investigation showed Carew
spent it
hired a
rain,
man
sleet,
named
snow,
Van
with his
Brett
crew on the
Watkins to
floor.
kill Adams
What
because
the
she
hell
wouldn't end her
does that mean?
pregnancy. Federal authorities found Carew
What's the word,
hiding in the
Cam?
trunk of a car in Tennessee, and in 2001, he was convicted and ordered to spend anywhere from 18 to 24 years in prison. He was released from jail on October 22nd, 2018.
what did he ever kill for? Like,
CJ Spillman built his NFL career through pure determination on special teams. Despite going undrafted in 2009, this safety managed to stick on NFL rosters by becoming one of the league's most feared gunners on punt coverage. When you look at his special teams highlights, you can see Spillman flying down the field, showing the all-out kind of effort that coaches love to see. He played 6 seasons in the NFL with the Chargers, 49ers, and the Cowboys. While he hardly played on defense, starting just 1 game in his entire career, Spillman made an impact with a couple of clutch fumble recoveries and some massive hits. In 2014, Spillman landed
that's a decent
with the
way to make. That's a decent way to live. I always say the best position you could be in any sport is to be a backup fucking quarterback. Being a backup quarterback, you're still getting paid more than 90% of anybody else at any other position. You getting paid more than linemen. Like, you getting paid more than other starters. And at being a backup quarterback, you're seeing like 2%, 1% of snaps throughout the entire season. You're pretty much never, if you're Pat Mahomes backup, you're never seeing the field. If you're Lamar Jackson's backup, you're never seeing the field except for week 17. You're taking 1% of the snaps that these niggas take, and you're getting paid millions and millions and millions. I would love to be a backup quarterback.
Cowboys, where he kept doing his
Love
thing
it.
as a special teams weapon under coach.
This seems pretty fucking
his
easy
NFL
too.
journey was about to hit a sudden wall. On September 20th, 2014, just hours after the Cowboys flew to St. Louis for a game against the Rams, Spillman sexually assaulted a woman at the team hotel. Even with these serious allegations,
Oh, he got some balls. Mind you, already colleges and NFL, they already have private detectives following you. They already have all these fucking people following you. Nigga, to sexually assault somebody in the team hotel is some of the most insane shit I've ever
Spillman
heard.
kept playing for the Cowboys throughout the 2014 season while investigators worked the case. In July 2015, a Texas grand jury indicted Spillman. The next year, he was convicted and got 5 years in prison. The conviction permanently ended his time in the NFL and destroyed whatever legacy he'd built up to that point in time.
Ain't follow Aaron? What you mean?
Henry Ruggs III was pure speed. As the Raiders' 12th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the team brought him in for one
I ain't gonna
main
lie, I
reason.
still find it crazy as hell that he went before. Was this Jerry Jeudy in them draft too? I believe this is the draft with Jerry Jeudy. I think it was Jerry Jeudy. Was it Jettas? I think it was. I know you're talking about. I'm pretty sure he gonna pop up in this video. I'm pretty positive he gonna pop up in this video.
The Raiders even took him ahead of CeeDee Lamb and
Yes,
Justin Jefferson.
yes. Okay, yeah. No, CeeDee Lamb, not Jerry Jeudy. This nigga going before CeeDee Lamb and Justin Jefferson. I'm sorry. As fast as he was, I just didn't see it, bro. I did not see it. I don't think he should have went that damn high. Henry Ruggs, he was drinking and driving. He hit somebody at like 158 miles an hour.
Which shows just how much stock they had in him. This is the pick they desperately wish they could have back now, though. At Alabama, playing alongside future NFL stars like Devontae Smith, Calvin Ridley, and Jerry Jeudy, Ruggs helped Alabama win the 2017 national championship as a freshman. His production in college got better every year, wrapping up with back-to-back seasons of 700-plus yards and 19 total touchdowns in his sophomore and junior years. The NFL Combine sealed his elite status when he ran a blazing 4.28 40-yard dash time, which was later updated to 4.27, one of the fastest times ever. Ruggs showed glimpses of his game-breaking ability during his first NFL season, averaging 17.4 yards per catch, which is amazing efficiency for a first-year player.
That's
Second
insane.
season started even better. Through 7 games in 2021, he already had 469 yards receiving and was becoming one of Derek Carr's favorite deep threats, averaging nearly 20 yards every time he caught the ball. But in the early morning hours of November 2nd, 2021,
but for him to go ahead of CeeDee Lamb and Justin Jefferson, if you seen what these niggas was doing in college, I'm sorry, as good as Henry Ruggs was, him running a 4.28 got him drafted before CeeDee Lamb and Justin Jefferson, because there's no reason he should have been drafted before either
Report
one
on
of
the
them.
fiery wreck saying Ruggs was driving at 156 miles per hour.
That's fucking insane.
With a blood alcohol level twice Nevada's legal limit.
This is what driving at 156 miles per hour looks like. You can see just how fast Henry Ruggs was going based on the speed of the other cars around him.
My God.
He is flying.
Do you know how drunk you have to be going 156 miles an hour on a residential street? Like, nigga, you have to be flying. And then on top of that, you get a motherfucker. Like, one, you have to have, my God, I'm stuttering and shit. It's fucking insane that he hit somebody that going that fast and walked away. And it was bad enough to set the person's car that you hit on fire. That's fucking insane.
2.5 seconds after he passes by, you hear screeching and then a loud bang.
Ruggs made a choice that would change multiple lives.
My God.
Forever. He crashed into 23-year-old Tina Tintor's vehicle.
That shit sucks,
the car
bro.
burst into flames. Tintor and her dog Max died at the scene.
That shit
the Raiders
sucks,
cut Ruggs
bro.
immediately, and in 2023, he pleaded guilty and was sentenced
That shit
to
is
3
sad
to
as
10
hell.
years in prison.
I really hate that shit. Because imagine you really just sitting there in your car and you just get hit at 156 miles an hour and your car set on fire. So even if you survive the initial hit, your car sets on fire. And you know what's crazy is Ray Rice is he got put out the league and is never finna play again for knocking his wife out. Henry Ruggs is gonna get picked up somewhere. I don't think these owners care enough about what he did to have him out of the league. I think he's definitely, unless like Roger Goodell steps in, but he's definitely gonna be on another team.
Bam Morris bulldozed through NFL defenses with a punishing style that made fans love him in the mid-90s. Texas Tech product was built like a tank and ran with the kind of power that made smaller linebackers think twice before taking him head on.
Bam is one of those guys that don't come along very often.
Bam Morris, a real people person. That is, unless you're a defender.
At Texas Tech, Morris owned the Southwest Conference, leading in both rushing yards and touchdowns in 1993 with a very impressive 1,700.
So the thing is they send that Kyron. If Kyron did whatever he did, I don't feel bad. But there's people saying that he was found not guilty, that he was just passing by the accident that happened or something of that sort. Me personally, I think he did it because I just don't see you passing by. I don't see that leading you going to jail. I don't see that leading you going to jail because that nigga Jalen Carter, he got drafted 9th overall when he was racing with his homie that died in a car accident. So you just passing by one, it doesn't make sense to me. Now, like drunk driving and all that shit, you know, I be on my friend's ass about that shit all the time. Like, don't drink and drive and all that shit. Like, I'll be on their ass. I will never do it myself. But that shit, like, I'll never feel bad for nobody who chooses to drink and drive. You feel me? Like, you feel me? Jalen Carter was racing one of his homies right after the national championship. He was racing his homie, and another lady from the team, they ended up dying in a car accident. And Jalen Carter, you know, they was trying to, you know, he was racing. That's illegal. You can't do that. So they were trying to make him like an accessory to it. And he ended up getting off of it. Like, he ain't facing no repercussion or nothing.
152 yards and 22 scores. The Steelers drafted him in the 3rd round of the 1994 NFL draft, and Morris hit the ground running as a rookie.
Hell yeah, in the NFL. Nigga, the best D tackle in the NFL.
While adding on another 204 yards.
Nigga, you know who Jalen Carter is.
One of his best moments came the next season on the biggest stage. Super Bowl 30 against the Dallas Cowboys. Even though Pittsburgh lost this game, Morris still had a good showing, grinding out 73 yards and scoring a touchdown that briefly had Steelers fans believing a comeback was possible. But Morris's NFL journey quickly ran into trouble. His production fell in the 2nd season, and in March of 1996, police found more than 6 pounds of marijuana in his car during a traffic stop in Texas. The Steelers cut him soon after that incident. Though he got second chances with Baltimore and Chicago, Morris never really found his early form again. His time with the Ravens showed glimpses of what he could do. 774 yards in 1997, but it was overshadowed by a 4-game suspension in the beginning of the season for breaking the league's alcohol policy and a 120-day jail sentence. In 1998, he signed with the Chiefs, and during the final 6 weeks of the season, it looked like he was finding his groove once again. But in 1999, he just couldn't capitalize on that momentum. His career was basically over at that point, and to make things even worse for him, his legal problems were just
How I feel about living is like, it's a lot of luck in it. It's like, I think it's like 70% luck, 20% about who you know, and about 10% grind. That's how I feel about that shit. That's how I feel about all that shit.
April 2000, Morris was arrested for trafficking controlled substances. The investigation showed he'd been running a major distribution network.
Why do this when you're already making millions of dollars, bro?
Marijuana around Kansas City. On September 10th, 2001, a judge gave Morris
Why do this if you're making millions, bro?
It was a shocking story,
I never got that. Like,
it's not even as shocking as our next guy.
Doing all this shit when you're making millions of dollars, bro, to just throw your life away is just insane to me. It doesn't make sense.
Coordinator's worst nightmare. He could line up as a traditional tight end, slot receiver, even in the backfield. When the Patriots grabbed Hernandez in the 4th round of the 2010 NFL Draft, which is the same year they got Rob Gronkowski, the whole league took notice. Bill Belichick, who's always one step ahead, saw a 2 tight end system that could change offensive football forever.
I believe his life is about three different things.
Became a key piece in New England's offense. Piled up 910 yards and 7 touchdowns while helping the Patriots get to Super Bowl 46. His college days at Florida also already showed potential. Playing with Tim Tebow, Hernandez won a national championship in 2008. And his Sugar Bowl performance the very next year against Cincinnati, 9 catches, 111 yards, and a touchdown, showed off the talent that would soon give NFL defenses headaches. In August of 2012, the Patriots showed just how much they valued Hernandez by giving him a 5-year, $40 million contract extension.
Hey, y'all know what's crazy is like how these contracts have changed over the years. Like when I seen Aaron Rodgers had like a 4-year, $100 million contract, I think that was one of the first $100 million contracts. I was like, what the fuck? $100 million is fucking insane. It's fucking insane. And now you got niggas getting $500 million contracts and they're like, what, man?
Behind all the touchdowns was some really
this nigga was super tough, bro.
Hernandez
him and
Gronk, of violent incidents dating back to his Florida days.
He do look like Aaron Hernandez always looked like the crash out.
Removed him off their
it's times people in the hood that didn't get lucky. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, like I believe with this content shit, bro. I believe like with this content shit. I know I keep pausing the video, and I don't want to keep pausing the video. But the fact that I personally, I feel like I'm a good content creator. Like no bullshit. I feel like I'm really good at what I do. I feel like I'm interesting. Yeah, I'm not screaming up and jumping up and down and shit like the rest of these streamers who just clip farm and shit. But I feel like as a chill streamer, as a chill gamer, content creator, variety streamer, I feel like I'm really good. And I feel like I'm pretty damn interesting. You feel me? I don't feel like I'm one of these boring ass niggas that's just, yeah. You feel me? This shit is a crazy amount of luck, and I'm just praying that I get enough luck because I feel like I'm putting the work in. I just feel like I'm really praying that I get my good end of the stick. You feel me? When it comes to the luck.
Second round talent. On June 26, 2013, everything fell apart. Police arrested Hernandez in connection with the homicide of Odin Lloyd, a semi-pro football player who was dating the sister of Hernandez's fiance. The Patriots cut him within hours of the arrest. April of 2015, Hernandez was found guilty and got life in prison without parole.
Damn.
While serving this sentence, he was also charged with a double homicide from 2012, though he was later found not guilty of those charges. On April 19, 2017, prison guards found Hernandez in his cell. He had taken his own life at the age of 27.
Prison officials in Massachusetts confirming they found former New England Patriot and University of Florida standout Aaron Hernandez dead in his cell this morning.
Boston University researchers...
I don't feel bad for nobody who takes themselves out after killing multiple people. They say he killed like 3 people. If you got convicted of killing somebody and then you have 2 more convictions after that, like, I'm gonna believe that you did it. I don't feel bad for you taking your own life. I don't. I can't.
To examine Hernandez's brain, discovered that he suffered from an advanced form of CTE.
A study out today says former football star Aaron Hernandez had a severe form of CTE.
Can say it's a progressive degenerative brain disease. It is like Alzheimer's. It can start with memory loss, mood swings, and difficulty in concentration, developing into progressive dementia.
He was at one time.
You talking about that little nigga Rakai?
Patriots, in my opinion, that wasn't named Tom Brady. He was that skilled. But hearing the CTE results,
Teddy,
all of us former players are still curious to all of it, because me as a former player, I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to think, but all I know is I wonder. I wonder how much I have, and I wonder, you know, what am I going to be like in 5
Yeah, nah,
to 10
them
years?
niggas that just clip farm and shit 24/7. I hate that shit, bro.
Hernandez is one of the most tragic stories in the history of the sport, but we've got a lot more crazy stories to come, including a Super Bowl hero who shot himself in a nightclub, a running back whose 15-year prison term began during his rookie season, and a Bears special teams
like personally,
player
bro, like I will never sit there and clip farm and do all that extra shit how like they be doing, bro. Like, would I do IRL streams? Yes. Like, my type of streaming is I'm Dante and fucking Trey. The Trey that you know. Like, that's the type of streaming that I'm doing for real. You feel me? All due respect to niggas who do actually no. I don't. If you're funny clip farming like them niggas Ronaldo and Jason DeWeen, they're funny clip farming. Them other niggas don't even be funny when they be clip farming, gang.
By an undercover cop. But first, we got to look at Trevon Boykin.
Ooh, I was wondering what happened with this nigga.
He could
this
beat you
nigga
with his
was
arm
so
or with
tough.
his legs, putting up over 10,000 career
This
passing
nigga
yards
was
while
so
also running
tough.
for over 2,000 on the ground. In 2014, he threw for 3,901 yards with 33 touchdowns while rushing for another 707 yards and 8 scores. This got him named Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year, and he finished 4th in Heisman Trophy voting. But NFL teams had concerns about Boykin making the jump to the pros, questions about his size, accuracy, decision-making, and mainly
I ain't gonna
some
lie,
off-field
it's just so
issues
crazy
left
because
him
any
undrafted
quarterback
in
that was a dual
2016.
threat back
Seattle
then, they
Seahawks
said,
took a
oh, I don't
chance
know
on
how he
him.
will
They saw his
translate into the
potential and picked him
NFL.
up as a backup to Russell Wilson. Boykin's short NFL career peaked in Week 3 of the 2016 season when he
I
came
wanted
in
this
a
nigga to
game
be
against
good
the
so bad.
49ers,
I wanted him to be
completed
so
7
fucking
out of
good.
9 pass attempts for 65 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. These flashes suggested that he could develop into a solid NFL backup or even become a starter somewhere. But his career quickly fell apart off the field. In March of 2017, he was arrested as a passenger in a car that crashed into a Dallas bar, hurting several pedestrians. He faced charges of public intoxication and possession of marijuana. Things got even worse in March of 2018. According to police, Boykin assaulted his then-girlfriend, Shabrika Bailey, during an argument that started when he demanded that she unlock her phone. Security camera footage at his home showed everything. He put Bailey in the hospital with multiple breaks in her
I ain't gonna lie, he deserved whatever came to him. This is crazy.
jaw, requiring
Good
him to be wired shut.
Lord.
Former TCU quarterback Trevon Boykin.
Yeah, he deserved
will
that
spend 3
shit.
years in prison for aggravated assault.
Just
and also
3
tampering with a
years?
witness.
And his legal problems didn't
He
stop
deserved
there.
that shit.
In December of 2019, he was arrested for theft after trying to leave a hotel without paying his bill. And in February of 2020, he pleaded guilty to several charges, including aggravated assault and tampering with a witness, getting a 3-year prison sentence. After getting out of jail, Boykin went back to playing some indoor football and also played in Mexico for a couple years.
Nigga went to Mexico. Nigga thought he was gonna
6
get
feet
good
5
in
inches
Mexico.
tall, Plaxico Burress towered over NFL
This nigga was so
secondary.
tough.
After the Steelers
This
drafted him
nigga-
8th
man, I
overall in
love
the
Plaxico
2000
Burress,
NFL
bro.
draft, he quickly made a name for himself as
I
a
love
serious
Plaxico
deep
Burress.
threat. His time in Pittsburgh gave him 4 solid seasons after his rookie year, including back-to-back 1,000-yard years in 2001 and 2002. His big playability made him a hot commodity when he hit the free agency market in 2005. The New York Giants scooped him up, pairing him with Eli Manning in a move that completely changed their offense. And the investment paid off right away. Burris put up 1,214 yards and 7 touchdowns in his first year with the team.
I vaguely remember my cousin used to be cooking me with the Giants with this nigga.
70 catches,
he used to be
1,025
cooking my
yards,
shit.
12 touchdowns. But in Super Bowl 42 against the undefeated Patriots, Burris had his biggest moment yet, catching the game-winning 13-yard touchdown with just 35 seconds left, completing one of the biggest upsets in sports history.
Manning lobs it, Burris alone, touchdown, New York!
No matter what, I think this would be one of the craziest fucking losses ever.
2018, everything changed in a flash. While at the Latin Quarter nightclub in Manhattan, Burris was carrying an unlicensed .40 caliber handgun tucked into his jeans waistband. As he moved through the VIP section, the gun slipped down his leg, and when Burris reached for it, the weapon fired, sending a bullet through his right thigh. New York had very tough gun laws, and Burris didn't have a permit to carry a concealed weapon in either New York or New Jersey. Manhattan Mayor Michael Bloomberg publicly demanded that Burris be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Can I say something? I understand the whole not having a license for a gun and all that shit. But I feel like this was blown up way more than it should have been. Like, I don't feel like it was that deep. Y'all expect a nigga who has millions and millions of dollars to not be carrying some shit with him? I understand he could have got a license and shit. It shouldn't be hard for him. But like, I feel like this shit was just blown up way more. Like, the nigga shot himself, not nobody else, himself.
In August of 2009,
that enough should do.
And got 2 years in prison. He was
that enough should be enough of punishment.
After serving nearly 2 years. Though he did try to make a comeback with the Jets and later return to the Steelers, Burris never got back to his old form. His career effectively ended with a split-second mistake that cost him millions.
That shit is crazy, bro. I just
Cecil
personally
Collins
don't think
came to the NFL with incredible raw talent and a troubled background. The running back, nicknamed the Diesel, led the SEC with 8.3 yards per carry during his time at LSU in 1997.
He's the most impressive running back I've ever seen in person.
Modern day Earl Campbell, best running back I've seen.
Miami Dolphins took their chance on
this
him
nigga
in the
was like that
round of the 1999 draft, and Collins rushed for 414 yards in
this nigga was like that
rookie. But on December 16th, 1999, he made one decision that instantly destroyed his promising career.
You saw one of the greatest running backs probably ever, and it was a blink of an eye and it was over.
Damn.
He broke into a neighbor's apartment in Florida while the married couple inside was sleeping. When they spotted him, Collins ran but was quickly identified and arrested. He claimed to know the girl inside from the gym and, quote-unquote, only wanted to watch her sleep. The Dolphins cut him.
Why did you have to do that? I never understood. These niggas be fucked up. That CTE shit was. That CTE shit is something. Because you sneaking into, you could have, I'm sorry, you could have put a number on that. She probably would have folded and ended up linking up, but you want to low key if you just do some bread her way. You in the NFL gang. You make more money than 99% of niggas. Like, let's be real. Let's be fucking real, bro. You did not have to do that shit.
And by 2001, a judge had given him 15 years in prison for burglary.
Yeah, Plaxico.
He got out a little bit early, and during his 13 years locked up, Collins developed a perspective that might shock you. In interviews, he actually suggested that prison might have saved his life considering the path he was on. He even found a personal connection behind bars, marrying a woman that he met when she was visiting another inmate. From NFL starter to spending
imagine your bitch come for you and loan another nigga.
Falls from grace that you'll see in league history. But the guys we're about to cover are a whole lot crazier.
But I ain't gonna lie, just for sneaking into somebody's crib is crazy.
Sam Hurd lasted 5 seasons with the Dallas Cowboys from 2006 to 2010, creating a niche mainly on special teams. I mean, just 739 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns across 6 NFL seasons.
Damn.
His offensive stats weren't exactly eye-catching.
Yeah,
his
that ain't nothing crazy
Northern
at all.
Illinois showed real potential, especially his impressive senior year where he racked up 1,074 yards and 13 touchdowns.
I went there.
That college production never translated to the pros, leaving Hurd battling for playing time and special teams roles. In July of 2011, his fortunes seemed to change when he signed a 3-year deal with the Chicago Bears worth more than $5 million, including a $1.35 million signing bonus. What teammates and coaches couldn't have seen coming was that Hurd had far bigger ambitions off the field than on it.
Friends call him God-fearing, a family man. So is it possible he was leading a double life, which could send him to prison for 40 years? And why would someone earning millions of dollars risk everything?
Everyone at the Bears say, good guy, great guy, quoting the Bible, great guy to be around. Obviously, he was conning them if he was involved in this, and he led a double life.
On December 14, 2011, federal agents arrested Hurd in a Chicago parking lot. Hurd told undercover officers that he wanted to buy 5 to 10 kilograms of Coca-Cola and 1,000 pounds of marijuana weekly to distribute through Chicago. The Bears cut him immediately after the news broke. In April of 2013, Hurd pleaded guilty to conspiracy to possess the substances with intent to distribute. That November, the judge gave him 15 years in prison. After serving about 10 years, Hurd was released in January of 2023 to community confinement in San Antonio. So, how do you get more self-destructive than that? Well, let's find out.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Why the fuck are you somebody who has... You just signed a you're making over $5 million, $2 million after taxes. You still have more money than 99% of niggas. Why are you trying to sell drugs? Why not even send somebody else to do the shit? You can literally send your homie from down the block, give him 10 bands, and he will go do the shit for you. I will never in my life get why niggas who already have everything that you could want in life, why go risk it for some illegal shit? You already made it the legal way. Why are you going and risking your life and doing the illegal shit, nigga? You already made it. You made it already.
Darrell Henley looked like the perfect NFL success story. This UCLA All-American cornerback graduated with a 3.3 GPA in finance before becoming a cornerback for the Los Angeles Rams. On the field, he showed that he could make plays, grabbing 12 career interceptions, including solid seasons in 1991 and 1992 when he picked off 7 passes combined.
These pads that they used to wear back then is insane.
It seemed like he was going to do great things even after football. But the image everybody saw hid a completely different reality that would eventually wreck his career and land him in prison for decades. In 1993, we got the first sign that something might be wrong when 3 men were charged with trying to squeeze $100,000 from Henley, claiming he owed them $360,000 from an illicit deal. Henley didn't get charged at the time, but it certainly showed there were some serious problems that nobody knew about. Then by 1995, Henley's carefully built life collapsed when he was found guilty of drug trafficking. The court gave him 20 years in prison. That was just the start of Henley's downfall. In 1996, while waiting for the appeal, he bribed a guard to sneak a cell phone into his cell. Using this hidden phone, Henley connected with somebody that he thought was a mobster named Joey Gambino. This supposed mafia guy offered Henley a piece of an illicit substances deal, but Henley's desperation pushed him to do something even worse. He tried to set up hits on the judge who sentenced him and Tracy Donahoe, the Rams cheerleader who was also involved. What Henley didn't know was that Joey Gambino was actually an undercover DEA agent.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, this nigga is cooked. This nigga was cooked. This nigga had no fucking chances.
Every word.
No fucking chances.
Added 21 years to Henley's sentence, bringing his total to 41 years. The cornerback who once had everything, education, athletic talent, and family support, had become a federal prisoner with no shot at freedom until his mid-60s. NFL careers can end in seconds, not just from getting injuries or by getting cut, but from choices that are made off the field. Some of these guys had elite talent that will...
I just don't get it, bro. Like, I'm finna rant here for a quick second, but I don't get it. You go your whole life playing this sport. You make it to the league where you get paid millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. And instead of investing said money into a business or something legal where you can make even more money, you go and decide to try to traffic drugs? Fucking drugs? Like, why? What the fuck is the point? You already made millions. There's so many more ways to make more millions. Money don't change you, it makes you who you are 10 times. You got a fucking point. You got a point, because yeah, you didn't lie. You ain't lie with that shit, because that shit is definitely true. That is definitely true, because, man, the shit these niggas do, man, it just be like, why are you like that, bro? Why are you like that? It just is, it's insane. I don't think Mike Vick is on here because he still had a pretty successful career after the whole dogfighting shit. So I don't think he's on here for that reason, because he still did pretty well in the league after those 2 years that he was in jail.